as congressional Republicans this week crippled the Affordable Care Act's requirement that most Americans carry health insurance. They simultaneously abandoned in the final politicking of 2017 a pair of measures that President Donald Trump and the Senate's GOP leader had promised to help cushion the law's marketplaces. The measures, pledged to a crucial Republican moderate in exchange for her support on the tax overhaul, would have temporarily restored an acai subsidy to health insurers that Trump ended this fall and would have given states several $billions to help buffer insurance companies from customers with especially high medical costs. Sen. Susan Collins, our Maine, took Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky off the hook in the end, saying she would be satisfied if he brought up the two provisions early next year, though it is unclear they will ever surmount a wall of opposition from House conservatives. The turn of events amounts to a double whammy for the acai. It means that lawmakers will end the first year of the Trump era having knocked down a fundamental pillar without allowing the compensatory protections that outside analysts and even some in the GOP consider critical. The president sought Wednesday to equate gutting the individual mandate with repealing the entire 2010 health care law, which was President Barack Obama's prime domestic achievement. "We will come up with something much better," Trump told a cabinet meeting. His assertion was a pronounced overstatement. Other central features of the acai remain intact, including its insurance marketplaces, intended for Americans who do not have access to affordable insurance through a job, the federal subsidies that help more than 80% of people with acai health plans afford their premiums, the expansion of Medicaid in more than 30 states plus Washington, D.C. President Donald Trump on Wednesday said Obamacare is being repealed. That's not technically correct, though some worry that eliminating the requirement that people who don't get health insurance pay a penalty may weaken Obamacare, also known as the Affordable Care Act. Here are a few things. President Donald Trump on Wednesday said Obamacare is being repealed. That's not technically correct, though some worry that eliminating the requirement that people who don't get health insurance pay a penalty may weaken Obamacare, also known as the Affordable Care Act. Here are a few things. Still, the administration has taken its own steps to undercut the law's insurance marketplaces and is pressing forward with more. As directed by an executive order Trump signed 2 months ago, officials are finishing a draft rule that will give insurers more room to sell meager but inexpensive health plans that skirt acai requirements. Though large portions of the acai remain intact, the executive branch's moves and what Congress has done and not done this week represent a reversal of fortune for Republicans, who repeatedly failed this year to pass bills to carry out their long-held goal of repealing much of it. While assembling the legislation for a massive tax overhaul, Senate Republicans narrowed their sights and added the language eliminating enforcement of the ACA's coverage requirement starting in 2019.